or going through the marshes. And when you go through the marshes, you want a laurel, in case you deal with these things. Evil leeches, and more mud monsters. So yeah, 3 is sufficient. 2 is sufficient if you want to take a little damage, but I recommend 3. Speaking of things to recommend, I recommend going in this dungeon. Or should I say mansion. Things are looking gray. Indeed. I could get to level 4 in here, providing I don't die. That's asking a lot, isn't it, Magma? Speaking of a lot, there are a lot of enemies. And some of them throw bones at me. They definitely don't like my plans. My plans involve hitting them with a flame whip. Speaking of things to get over, I wish this guy would not get over my stairs there. Fortunately, there aren't too many invisible floors here. Or disappearing floors. Or fake floors. I don't care what you call them. I call them trouble. Never trouble until trouble to you. If anybody knows where that quote came from, give yourself a cookie. Also, something I'd like to give you is more commentary. I'm kind of running dry tonight. And I don't mean drunk, because nobody cares how dry I am. Someone said, I'm jumping. I'm jumping for happiness. I'm jumping through stairs. Ahem. Stupidity aside, it's time for a delicious oak steak. Yes, I like oak steaks. And once again, I say, take the high ground. And I suppose if I get enough experience, I actually might get a level. The 4th and final level. Whoop. At least it didn't say ouch this time. So let's, instead of saying ouch, say hello to a long fall involving spearmen. That sounded so long. But this looks rather full of gold. Triple check my map here. Make sure I don't fall the wrong way. Can you guess which way you want to fall? Either way would actually work. I'm going left for a special purpose. Because we have to meet their spiders. Not again. No problem, just takes 2 hits. As long as you're quick about the draw, there's no problem. Really? And now I'm maxed out with 8 laurels. That's pretty awesome. But what's not awesome is flashing spikes. That's why I have laurel as handy. Otherwise you couldn't get past this part. Not without taking a lot of damage. It might have been a quick fix that develops per... Because they being there... Hi there! Bye there. Time to get another part of Dracula. And now, what shall I possess today in the magic flashing bag? Dracula's ring... That isn't even a bloody part! Anyway... It's time for our friend, the Phantom of the Opera Mask. And he moves pretty fast. So if I can keep him in a stun lock with a gold knife, I won't have to worry about any projectiles. He cries at me. Also, equipping Rib might be smart here. And now, I get a magic cross. Ahem. Insert effect at bottom of screen. How unprofessional of me. I forgot what it does. And now the only thing left is to get back up. Well, I can't get back up to the right, so I have to go left. Which deals with these. So yes, the smart thing is to realize that was a stupid idea. Ahem. Can I have some more laurels? Thank you. Now let's quit being stupid. And go forward to avoid our death this time. Now I feel off my game. Have you ever felt so off your game that it doesn't become a game? It becomes an adventure. Well, time to go up and get out of this horrible, horrible mansion. Dracula doesn't keep it clean. He still has spiders in it. Where are the maids when you need them? Even if the maids are skeleton maids. Seriously, get some Dracula. And now it's just an easy, somewhat, trek backwards. Not really a tough mansion, except for a few nasty low parts. Of course, coming here with a Morning Star, or a weaker weapon, would result in you tearing out your hair. Speaking of power, yes, your dagger is as powerful as your flame whip. Gold dagger, that is. And that's fracking awesome. So, we could go left a little bit, or we could go further right. Let's go left just to show you what happens. When all your sanity is gone, you might have to deal with mudmen. You might have to deal with leeches that jump really high. And you figure with such a long marsh, that going this way would be a good idea. Yep, you know what's coming, but... is this looking familiar? Yep, that'll take you all the way back to the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but you'll have to ride the ferry again, and go through Devor's Cliff with the red crystal again. And that takes a lot of time. Speaking of time, it's day 11. Or day 10. I thought it was day 11. Well, go through the marsh again. Even if it hurts your feelings. And feelings, I mean by your legs and feet. Because, yeah, you still have to deal with more marsh. I might run out of energy here. And that's also why they put the laurels in there. Because they knew you'd have to backtrack. And if you don't have a silk bag, well, it gets even worse. Besides giving you seizures. Well, apparently this rib does not deflect those type of fireballs. Can't win them all. And did you notice that? Yes, your backswing actually kills enemies. You should have told us that from day one, Magma. Well, not always a good chance to demonstrate it. I don't like turning my back on my enemies. Neither should you. Skulls. Why did it have to be skulls, Mr. Jones? So let's climb up here. And tell you, well, you can't climb up from there. Fiddle fudge and peanut butter. Okay, now Magma's just making crap up. But there is Fiddle Faddle. It's a delicious popcorn caramel snack with nuts. Are you nuts? I am. I'm nuts for playing Castlevania. And if you don't believe me, well, that's your own fault. So instead of going nuts, let's see how high we can get. And I don't mean with drugs. If you know me by now, winners don't use drugs. They sell them. And well, all the way up here leads to one dead end. What if I fall down here? Well, yeah. Leads towards nothing. Just more falling down. Magma, you should really stop falling down. It hurts people's feelings. Like Simon's and his legs. This guy's legs must be killing him by now. That's not all that's killing him. It's the dreaded curse. And if I decide to go all the way up and to the right here, I shall demonstrate dead end, yes. Smack yourself on the top of the head now. I should know better, seriously. You would never do that. At least not in public. People might think you're crazy. People might realize that you're not okay, and then they send you to Dracula's mansion. It's a horrible place to die. So it's impossible to get through there. I wonder if somebody uses Game Genie one day and float above the air. Somebody tell me what happens if you go there. Speaking of places to go, these zombies. Wait a minute, is a mummy just a zombie wrapped up in bandages? Well, the harpies are back. They're not buzzards, they're harpies. And Medusa, yeah, she's mad. She's really mad. But it's another town. Wicked Ditch. Dicked Witch. I just said that. Yes. Right to go north. What the heck? That, ladies and gentlemen, made no sense. Can I shout in front of the church and get it healed? Nope. Even the church shut their doors at night. Probably a wise decision. And yeah, that town is pretty small. We'll skip over it for the time being. And instead slash fishermen. With platforms. Moving platforms. And rather difficult jumps. Speaking of difficult jumps, am I being difficult again? Absolutely. So let me get going. And you'll recognize these things, except their fireballs are extremely fast. So be extreme, and slap them in the face. Speaking of being extreme, I could use some more laurels right now. Instead, I go extreme Martian. And moving on forward, I'm actually going down. Because the right leads to the dead end. The upper right, that is. Speaking of right, it's day 11. And we made it to a pretty great town. There could be something wrong with this town. Like empty houses. Where are we anyway? We could be... Vrad? Do they mean Vlad? I think they do. Nobody's in the street. They're all dead. Actually, I may be correct on that. This is a small little town. But let's see if there are any survivors. Hey, there's a survivor. I'd rather not. Going forward a little bit, I deal with more zombies. And graveyards, gravestones I actually have to jump over. That's horrible. Speaking of horrible, yeah, more eagles. More ghosties. And more stuff I have to go forward with. That was strange, though. And where are all the fishmen? Speaking of strange, is it getting a little morbid in here? It might be. So, come back in the video and see what I mean by being morbid.